I see a lot of the prospective families that we are working with here at Stewardship missing out on this strategy as they're preparing for and looking to transition to retirement. If we haven't gotten a chance to meet yet, my name is Dylan Martin, certified financial planner with Stewardship Investments. We work with Christian families to help them prepare for retirement and to be good stewards through their financial planning, investing, and generosity. So, what am I talking about today? Today, I'm talking about what it's called tax diversification. So, a lot of us have heard of diversification, maybe in the sense of how our investments are positioned, making sure we have a good mix between the different sectors of stocks, so tech stocks and utilities, healthcare, big company stocks, small company stocks, international company stocks, so making sure you have a good, healthy mix so your eggs aren't in one basket. So that's a concept that we've heard about, but maybe not as many of us have heard about tax diversification. So what exactly do I mean by that? Well, there are different types of investment accounts, and those different investment accounts have different rules around how they are handled from a tax perspective. So I want to highlight three main accounts today that I think are very helpful for people who are preparing for retirement to have in their tool belt. So first account is the pre-tax account. So that's your traditional IRA, your regular 401k at work, those types of accounts, a 403b as well. So those types of accounts, you are putting money in from your paycheck or from your bank account with the IRA, and with these accounts, you are getting a tax deferral. So you make $100,000, put $5,000 into your 401k at work. That year, you are only getting taxed on $95,000 of income as opposed to $100,000. So you are deferring the taxes on the $5,000 that you are putting into the 401k. And then down the road, when it comes to retirement time, you're looking to take money out of that 401k to help supplement your retirement income. At that point, that $5,000 and however much it has grown to, let's call it $20,000. If you're taking that out for income, that whole amount is going to be taxable to you at that time at whatever income tax rate you are at that time. So these pre-tax accounts, you get the tax deferral, and then down the road, you pay the taxes. So that's how that works. Second type of account, these are your Roth accounts, your Roth IRA. A lot of people have access to Roth 401ks at this point. So with these types of accounts, the Roth accounts, you're putting money into them to be invested after tax. So the taxes have already been taken out of those contributions. The money's going in, and then as that money grows, however much you put in and the growth, so same example, you put in 5,000 grows to 20,000. You go to take the 20,000 out at retirement time, that 20,000 is coming out at that point tax free because you paid the taxes on the contributions when you put that money in. So big advantages there depending on what your tax situation looks like. There also can be big tax advantages with that pre-tax account if you're in the highest tax brackets, to be able to defer taxes to down the road when maybe in retirement time you won't be in the highest tax bracket anymore. So there's potential there for all of these different types of accounts to play a role, which is why we're talking about the tax diversification. So it's good to have maybe a little bit of pieces of the puzzle in these different types of accounts. Third type of account I want to talk through is a brokerage account, non-qualified account. It's your regular old investment account, and because it's your quote-unquote regular old investment account, I feel like this account gets overlooked a lot of the time, and with not having really a place, but it's I think also quite the powerhouse account when it comes to preparing for retirement, and especially for preparing for having flexibility. I mean, that's one of the main things I like to focus on when doing planning with the families I'm working on, is just giving them as much flexibility as they can, and this account is a huge piece to that puzzle. So the way the brokerage account works, let's keep using our same numbers for solidarity. You put $5,000 into the brokerage account. That $5,000 is getting put into the account after tax. Taxes have already been taken out of that money. That $5,000 grows to $20,000 down the road. We're going to say longer than a year, because the way these brokerage accounts works, if you hold an investment in there for less than a year, it's going to get taxed at short-term capital gains rates, which is the same as income tax rates. But if you hold that money for longer than a year, you're then taxed at long-term capital gains rates, which can typically be favorable, but it's a whole different tax bracket than your income tax bracket rates. So another layer of diversification there with how that gets taxed. But so put the 5,000 in, grows to 20. Down the road, you're taking out the 20,000 for retirement. The initial $5,000 you put in, that's what we would call your basis. So that your basis, in this case, that $5,000 is not getting taxed. But the $15,000 of growth is getting taxed at whatever capital gains rates you happen to be at, the 0, 15, or 20, or if those happen to change. So those are your three types of accounts. Why I preach having a good mix in all of them depending on your situation is, again, that big word that I love to plan for is flexibility. When you go to transition into retirement, it just gives you a lot of flexibility to not have to get hit with a big tax bill. And yeah, it just gives you options. And if you're maybe wanting to retire early, having these different types of accounts also gives you flexibility and options on where to be drawing that money from. If you're wanting to retire before 59 and a half, those retirement accounts are locked up until then. Of course, there are different ways to get around that, so not overly locked in. But if you have these different types of accounts, like the brokerage account, you could pull from there, not have to worry about penalties or any sort of complex strategy to get you through to that time to be able to access that money, be able to retire early. So again, yeah, say it one more time. Let's keep hammering it in. Flexibility, having diversification amongst these different types of accounts that get taxed differently, give you flexibility and gives you options when it comes to transitioning into retirement time. So if you need more help thinking that through, be happy to be a resource for you on what that can look like. Or maybe you're already to retirement and you haven't done this. So what are my options? Be happy to talk through that with you as well. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment below with any questions or any other questions you'd like me to walk through on this channel. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.